I had been teaching for almost 7 years in the Bronx, Harlem, Brooklyn, and I was in a lot of the situations that are described in the book as a teacher, you know, encountering these incredible students.
My name is Claireece Precious Jones.
The novel didn't originally begin in the first person. You know, I had written a third-person novel, and I had, you know, it was laden with all my kind of boring politics and, you know, statements and stuff, and it literally died. You know, the first draft of the novel really died under my heavy-handed politics about, you know, the racism and classism and, you know, and everything. And it wasn't until, you know, like, it was this little girl comes in the middle of after 100 pages and is kind of like knocking on the door, talking about, Sapphire, let me in, let me tell my story. You know, and all the politics, all the issues came alive through her, and instead of beating people over the head, it opened people's heart, you know what I mean?
When you read it, it's so honest. Your work is so truthful that you begin to wonder whether or not this is real, that you can't have written this with such authenticity and for it not to have lived.
There's a lot of verite, a lot of reality, and there's also a lot of fantasy. So I created a world for Precious where she's redeemed and saved and touched, because that never happened for me. At that time, an African-American woman who would get a diagnosis of HIV would be dead within 6 months. So they did not have access to the community, the gay men's health crisis, nothing. And they quickly spiraled from being HIV positive to death. So these women were dying. That kind of is like this wake-up call, and that goes into the writing. I know that the character and the world that I'm going to create is going to be a world that will have to educate people who don't know what's happening. Just writing a horror story, a telling of horrific events, it would have been meaningless to me if, you know, she hadn't had this fairy godmother type of character.
I was really upset because I really wanted to show some of Mary's atrocities, which she'd done, you know, but I couldn't.
There's that moment where you see the face of evil with Mary, you know, and you don't have to have sexual abuse or anything like that. You just have to see her willingness to snuff out the life of another human being for her own gratification. Lee gave these actresses permission to go into the depths of their souls. That first time I saw it, I was amazed, you know. And 5 minutes in, I forgot, you know, about me or anything.
Shut up.
I was like thinking like it was like I was not like checking for anything. You know what I mean? I was in it. Gabourey just eats up your heart, you know. I just never thought, you know, it was going to go this far. You know what I mean? And that the performances would be such art.
That makes me happy.
Such
Thank
art.
You. I fell in love with Precious. I fell in love with Precious. You know, Precious became like my girlfriend. You wanted to take care of her. You knew that she was smarter than you. You know, I fell in love with her. She changed my world, and I hope that she changes people's worlds.
Yeah, yeah.